and thanks for joining me, your sport pilot James Glow, on another exciting edition of Sport Vibe on TNT Work, where we bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sport every Tuesday. This week won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned, because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Tuesday, starting from the world of transfer, talking about Manchester United, Marcus Rashford, and Aston Villa. As Aston Villa has been able to secure the signing of Marcus Rashford on loan. You remember that there has been so many speculation following the future of Marcus Rashford in the Premier League side. Manchester United, as so many clubs showed interest. We saw Barcelona at some point showing interest, and various clubs showing interest for Marcus Rashford's signature, but he has been able to pen down a contract with Aston Villa on loan, and he will be playing for Aston Villa till June in the Premier League. And let's see how Manchester United fans will be reacting to seeing Marcus Rashford playing in the Clarence Blue under Unai Emery in a rival club in the Premier League. Aston Villa might just be the right place for Marcus Rashford to go, but we are yet to see him play for Aston Villa, who are playing in the Champions League and are above Manchester United in the Premier League this season. Aston Villa will be able to see Marcus Rashford play for them in a game where we saw Marcus Rashford dominating in the attacking field of Manchester United. Will he be able to do that with Aston Villa after falling out of favour with Ruben Amorim in the Manchester United squad? Let's see how far Marcus Rashford will be going with Aston Villa, and if he will be able to secure a permanent deal with Aston Villa following a recent loan move to Aston Villa. And talking about another Premier League side, we talk about Tottenham Hotspur, who were able to get their first win since December in the Premier League after being able to defeat Brentford during the weekend 2-0. It was an interesting win for them, and it matters most after over a month in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur has been under so many scrutiny, and Postecoglou has been feeling the heat in the Premier League as he was able to get his first win for the first time since December 15 in the Premier League. Remember, Tottenham Hotspur are doing very well in the Europa League, where they sit 4th position behind Manchester United, who are sitting at the 3rd position in the Europa League. But in the Premier League, they are finding it hard to win games, but recently they were able to defeat Brentford in the Premier League, and let's see if they will be able to build on that. Tottenham Hotspur are suffering so many injuries in their team right now in the world of football, but let's see if they'll be able to build on that and proceed to win another game against Manchester United in next Premier League match between these two. And also talking about Premier League, we talk about Nottingham Forest, who were able to respond well following their defeat to Bournemouth 5-0. They were able to put 7 past Brighton and Hove Albion in the game that we witnessed during the weekend. What a way to respond by Nottingham Forest, as in the new Espirito Santo side are not giving up without a fight in the Premier League this season, as they have their eyes on the Champions League spot in the Premier League, and they think they can do it, probably not winning it, but be able to finish second probably in the Premier League this season, as they were able to put 7 past Brighton and Hove Albion during the weekend. It was a 7-star performance and a way to respond following a defeat to Bournemouth during the last match in the Premier League. And talking about another Premier League team, we talk about the league leaders Liverpool, who were able to extend their win in the Premier League this season after putting an end to the unbeaten run of Bournemouth the Premier League. Remember that the match between Liverpool and Bournemouth came in a time that Bournemouth were in incredible form. They had played 11 matches undefeated before facing Liverpool, and their recent victory was a 5-0 victory against Nottingham Forest. But after facing Liverpool, their unbeaten streak in the Premier League came to an end as Liverpool were able to defeat them 2-0. Bournemouth not having to find the back of the net this time around in the Premier League. I think they have scored all the goals that they will be needing to get at least a draw against Liverpool, against Nottingham Forest, but taking nothing away from Liverpool as they were able to extend their lead in the Premier League this season. Liverpool has gone 19 matches undefeated in the Premier League this season, and let's see if they will be able to continue with that form, as they will be winning the Premier League this season, continuing with that form. But we can take nothing away from the teams that are following them closely, where we see Arsenal sitting in the second position in the Premier League, Nottingham Forest occupying the third position. But another interesting result for David Moyes, the Everton head coach in the Premier League this season. They have been able to secure their third consecutive victory in the Premier League after defeating Leicester City 4-0. An interesting result for Moyes as he was able to secure his third consecutive victory. Remember that last weekend I said they were able to get their second consecutive victory for the first time in the Premier League, but now they have been able to extend their run to 3 consecutive victories in the Premier League this season. David Moyes is doing incredibly well with his former side Aston Villa, and it's too early to say this, but let's see if he will be able to build on that momentum and get so many games won in the Premier League, as they will be hoping to get off of the relegation zone comfortably, as we saw Leicester City, Southampton and Ipswich currently occupying that position following the victory of Wolves against Aston Villa. But quickly, permit me to go on a very short break, and when we right back, we go into details on so many other football matches and so many other sports. Thank you.
JK Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Welcome back, and we're still talking football. We're talking about Manchester United, who had failed to win their recent match in the Premier League as they were defeated by Crystal Palace 2-0 at Old Trafford. Manchester United continues to struggle to win at Old Trafford, and Ruben Amorim needs to fix things up quickly if he's going to continue as the manager of Manchester United. Remember that Rashford fell out of favour with him and has moved down to Aston Villa. Marcus Rashford would have been a great option to score goals for Manchester United in the Premier League this season, where Manchester United currently sits at the 13th position, just being able to secure 29 points after playing over 23 games in the Premier League this season. Is a sad one for Manchester United, but permit me to travel down to the Spanish La Liga, where we talk about Real Madrid, the league leaders, who dropped points during the weekend against Espanyol, and this means that Atletico Madrid are following them closely with 1 point between these two, ahead of the Madrid derby that will be taking place between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Let's see who will be winning the Madrid derby between these two, as Atletico Madrid will be hoping to win that game to go to the top of the Spanish La Liga, while Real Madrid will be hoping to defeat Atletico Madrid to maintain their spot at the top of the Spanish La Liga. Barcelona fans will be sitting at some corners wishing that match could only end in a draw in their favor, as they will be hoping to get back to the top of the Spanish La Liga. It is going to be an interesting match to watch out for during the weekend between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, the Madrid debut between these two. And also talking about debut, let's talk about AC Milan and Inter Milan match that we witnessed during the weekend, where it all ended in a draw between AC Milan and Inter Milan. It was a late goal that helped Inter Milan secure a vital 1 point against AC Milan, and this means that Inter Milan are sitting in the second position behind Napoli in the Italian Serie A this season. Napoli are currently at the top position after playing more matches than Inter Milan in the Italian Serie A. They are sitting at the top of the table, leading Inter Milan with 3 points, and if Inter Milan are able to play their game in hand and win it, they will be going at the top of the Italian Serie A, because they have been able to score more goals than Napoli this season. But Napoli will be hoping to do whatever it takes to maintain that spot in the Italian Serie A this season under Antonio Conte. Is going to be an interesting one to see between Inter Milan and Napoli currently in the Italian Serie A, as those two teams are the one that seems most likely to win the Italian Serie A this season. Also, let's travel to the French side. We talk about the Paris Saint-Germain in Ligue 1. They are yet to be defeated. They have been able to win 15 matches out of 20, and we have been able to get 5 draws in the 20 matches that they have played in the Ligue 1 this season. They have 50 points and they are currently sitting at the top of the Ligue 1, comfortably followed closely by Marseille in the Ligue 1 this season. It's been an interesting outing for them in the Ligue 1, but we can't say the same thing for them in the UEFA Champions League, as they have been made to proceed to the next round of the competition, the knockout phase, where they'll be facing Brest in the knockout phase of that competition. Paris Saint-Germain will be hoping to defeat Brest to go down to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. And talking about an interesting match, we talk about Arsenal and Manchester City that we watched during the weekend. Who said that match was not interesting? I guess it would be Manchester City fans saying that the match wasn't interesting because they were defeated by Arsenal Football Club 5-1, a 5-star performance for Arsenal Football Club. I think we should clap for them as rival fans, and so many people would hope that Manchester City will be winning Arsenal as they used to do, but this time around Arsenal Football Club were able to show dominance against Manchester City, defeating them 5-1 in the Premier League as they mount pressure on the league leaders Liverpool in the top half of the Premier League table, as Arsenal Football Club are sitting second position. Manchester City will be hoping to defeat Arsenal Football Club as they were able to defeat Chelsea 3-1 coming from behind, but Arsenal Football Club showed all what it takes to defeat Manchester City in that match that we call a 5-star performance from Arsenal Football Club. Mikel Arteta should be proud of his team defeating Manchester City 5-1 in the Premier League, but that doesn't mean that Arsenal Football Club don't need a striker this season in the Premier League. Remember that their bid for Ole Watkins was turned down, and I think they should go ahead in signing that striker because they need the man to score goals for them in the Premier League this season if they are going to be able to win the Premier League this season. Another interesting one that we ought to know is that Manchester City has conceded more goals than Manchester United this season in the Premier League. What an awful result for them during the weekend, and what an awful record for Manchester City that we know to always score goals, and they are very clinical in front of goals and good defensively, considering more goals than Manchester United in the Premier League this season. They will be facing Real Madrid in the knockout phase of the competition, where they will be hoping to proceed to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. This will be the 4th time in a row that Manchester City will be taking on Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League. And let's see who will be winning between these two to book their place in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League between Real Madrid and Manchester City, as Manchester City will be welcoming Real Madrid in the Champions League at the Etihad Stadium. This is the length at which we'll be going on this week's episode of Sport Vibe on DNT Walk. For more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media handles at Sport Vibe on DNT Walk. Thank you.